year since the conscience of the entire nation was shocked by the horrific RG Kaur and murder case when 31-year-old Abhaya was brutally raped and murdered on the 9th of August in an unattended seminar hall on the RG Kaur Medical College campus in Kolkata. When the crime scene was destroyed, and many accused allegedly linked to the Mamata government and the case, including the then principal in question, Sandeep Ghosh, close to the Trinamool Congress, awaiting justice less than a year, ladies and gentlemen, and another case of coercion, power play, gang rape and torture has emerged from another legal institution, this time in Kolkata, the South Calcutta Law College. And you think about it, this is the same thing all over again. Another woman professional in a top educational institution, this time in a law college, caught up in the late hours in the evening by her predators, raped, tortured, blackmailed, with threats issued to arrest and kill her loved ones. Fortunately, this time the victim somehow managed to escape alive. And in my hand tonight, in my hand is the testimony of her horror that she lived through. The victim, in her own words, has revealed the names of the accused and what they did. The main accused in the case is one Manojit Mishra, who, according to the victim, was an ex-student of the college and the unofficial head of the Trinamool Congress Chhatra Parishad, who held a lot of power in the college, so much so, obviously under the shadow of the Mamata government, that everyone listened to him, so much so that when at 7:30 p.m. on the 25th of January, he instructed merely by his eyes to get the gates of the college locked. His two accomplices forced the guard to shut the college gates. So powerful, this fellow, that first he had the doors of the union office locked and forced himself on the victim, who couldn't breathe due to a panic attack, as she saw fellow union senior turn into a predator right in front of her eyes. This allegedly power TMCP, Trinamool Congress Chhatra Parishad linked accused, then had the guard room cleared, the victim dragged, and on the threat of killing her friend and arresting her parents, he raped her while his two accomplices watched. All these are people linked to the Mamata Banerjee power structure and did not help the victim, who was fighting for her life. If you would read the complaint, viewers, you would not be able to sleep tonight. The victim said that this politically powerful, allegedly TMCP-linked accused raped her, tortured her and assaulted her to an extent that she no longer had the physical power to fight back. She said, I let myself like a dead body, wanting for her horror to end quickly. And what action was taken by Mamata's police and Mamata's administration, Mamata's government, where Mamata is still unfortunately the chief minister and Mamata is still unfortunately the home minister, an unaccountable Mamata, a dictatorial Mamata. Merely arrests after massive public outrage, just like how it was during the RG Kaur case. Was this alleged office bearer of the TMCP even sacked? Is he still a member of the TMCP? Who empowered him to threaten to arrest the parents of the victim as he raped her? This is what the institutionalized marginalization of women and political violence looks like. This is not an isolated case, ladies and gentlemen. Just earlier this week, 10-year-old Tamanna Khatun was killed after a crude bomb landed at her house. She died while political celebrations were ongoing outside because the TMC, the dictatorial TMC, the unaccountable TMC had won in Kaliganj in the spit of rage by political violence by TMC supporters, as alleged by 10-year-old Tamanna's murder. Her mother says a crude bomb landed at her house that led to a blast and took a little girl's life. Why? What was the 10-year-old girl's fault? Is it because 10-year-old Tamanna's family were CPIM supporters? Not a word said today by any of the secular parties when the mother of the 10-year-old Tamanna, Sabina Yasmin, wept inconsolably when she lost her only child that was a blessing from God after 10 years of marriage. You know what was the initial response of the administration? A man called Humayun Kabir, one of Mamata's top MLAs, went to the house of Tamanna and allegedly attempted to offer money to the weeping mother who had lost her daughter. But Sabina Yasmin, who was so outraged by the audacity and insensitivity of this move of Mamata Banerjee, threw this Trinamool fellow out of her house, saying that no amount can bring her 10-year-old angel back. You know what the TMC did, ladies and gentlemen? Instead of taking action on the people who hurled the bombs, they issued a show cause to Humayun Kabir on why did he go to allegedly after money, which has brought disrepute to the party. This is the priority of Mamata Banerjee. This is the reality of Mamata Banerjee's TMC. And someone has to point the finger at her and tell her that what she's doing, she leads a government that has no moral or ethical leg to stand on. Where cover-up is the norm, silence is the protocol, violence is the law. This is not about politics. This is not just about RG Kaur or South Calcutta Law College or 10-year-old Tamanna or Sandesh Khali. This is about the reality of women in Mamata's Bengal today. It is about the story of complete and absolute collapse of law and order, the blatant abuse of power of a political machinery that has forgotten the hammer of justice and the wrath of the law.